Hello, this is Sarah Pritchard, Confidence Coach for Women, here to help you get your shit together. And I'm excited because today we're going to be talking about something that is so divinely delicious. I just can't wait to share with you. Today, we're going to be focusing on 5 ways that you can strengthen and deepen your relationship with God. So often, when I talk to women, some of their top 5 goals for the year or just for the time being is always to kind of strengthen and uplift that relationship. So, obviously, we all know about, going to church or to temple or whatever it is that you go to. And we also already know about praying, but there are a number of other ways that you can actually elevate that relationship. And thankfully for me, over the course of the last couple of months, I have really saw my own growth in this particular area. So I was excited once I thought of this topic the other day. I just start writing down all of these ideas because it's something that's so deeply connected to myself, but also because I've been on this own journey of strengthening my relationship. And just 2 days ago, as I was praying, actually, while I was in my bed, I had woke up and I started praying because I was doing a lot of reflecting, over the course of the last couple of months, preparing for a new season, new year, all that kind of stuff. And as I was praying, I'm like, who that praying? Is that me? Right? Because I was so confident. I was so clear. I could just, there was a new sense of belief that I had. There was, my voice was really strong and powerful. And the way that it was just flowing out of my mouth in a way that I had never even heard of myself from myself before. And just a week ago, I also did a release and renewal detox bath, right? To kind of flow in and bring in this new year. And even before I even got in, I had lit my candles, I had put everything in there, I had my little oils and everything. And when I went to, before I even got in there, girl, I swear I prayed for like 45 minutes to an hour. It just came over me, right? Because I was in that space and I was in that place, which brings me up to my first way that you can strengthen your relationship. And that is for you to really tap into your intuition, right? Like I said, right before I got in, I was praying so long that I thought that my water was cold. It wasn't. It was a little warm. It wasn't like hot. But anyway, it's to really tap into your intuition, right? And the best way to do that is that you really need to make time to be in solitude, because solitude is where you get your best ideas for things, but it's also where you're able to really hear God and really get connected to Him in a really deep way. The best times and the easiest times to do that is usually in the morning when you wake up, because your mind is usually fresh and renewed. So you're like, almost like when you wake up, you're in a position to receive, right? And receive, and obviously divine wisdom, divine guidance, divine intuition, or anything else you need to support and guide you on this journey that is life. So tapping into your intuition is going to be key, because you're going to start getting things that are divinely sent to you, messages that are going to be coming through, and you're going to be like, well, where did that come from? Right? And that's going to go into my second one, is that there are going to start to be signs, symbols, there's going to be words, there are going to be numbers, there are going to be certain colors that are going to be popping up, right? Colors have significance. Different seasons have significance, right? And I almost feel like I'm getting into my English teacher mode, because in class, that's what I teach when I teach symbolism, right? In literature. But symbolism in literature is reflective of, kind of like that divine universal wisdom that we all know about, right? That can come from, like I said, it can come from numbers, it can come from animals, it can come from colors, certain things that keep popping up, right? Even hearing certain people, different people saying something similar to you over and over again, or you're constantly, seeing certain words plastered in different places, is another way. Or seeing certain numbers. There are certain numbers that are divine, like the number 3, at the little Trinity. The number 7, that's God's number. The number 1111, right? That's also a divine number, right? Oftentimes we see it on like watches, on phones. And as I was studying more about 1111 earlier, last year actually, now I see it everywhere. And sometimes I'll just be getting in my car and I look and I'll see 1111, right? And sometimes I've seen it after I just had like a really honest conversation with someone, or I made a decision and I was unsure, of really how, what the outcome was going to be. And then I see 1111, right? Or I see, 333 somewhere. right, you kind of start seeing stuff, or you see a certain color. I remember I was, dating this guy, and we had a kind of a rough patch, and our color for that time was the color red, because I had this red coat that I would always wear. And then, he was praying one day, and he was like, I just keep seeing red, and I know you have this red coat, right? Which it seems random. Mind you, we were outside of a church at the time, but that's not the point. But at the same time, right, it was like, well, where is this red coming from, right? Because colors have, spiritual significance, right? Just like it has significance in other areas. Even when it comes to, building a brand, color has significance, right? But that also connects to your personality, and your purpose, right? So it's like starting to be more conscious in that way, and that also allows you to tap into your intuition. Okay, so the third way that you can also start to tap into and strengthen that relationship with God is getting a spiritual mentor. So that's something that's greatly helped me elevate myself spiritually in the last couple of months. And it's not a pastor, or a bishop or anything of that nature, but I have someone who knows the Bible way more than me, right? They know all the stories. They know how things connect. They've been studying it longer than me, right? Because that's not necessarily my thing. But by me investing in them and, learning from them and hearing their wisdom, it elevates me, right? And it gives me hope, and it helps to revive me, right? So hearing from them, really helps me understand the Bible in ways that I didn't even, understand. In addition to listening to like pastors and things like that. Like I really love TD Jakes. Some people don't like him, but I love hearing TD Jakes, his little tidbits and snippets. I absolutely love. So even that, getting divine messages through that, even just looking at the clips when they pop up on Facebook, are really helpful, right? And once you keep feeding yourself that on a day by day basis, it really helps to elevate and escalate you to new levels, right? The fourth way, did I already do four? I don't know, is by being more connected to nature. When you're in nature, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm outside, and especially when it's really nice weather, I can just feel like it's God's love like all around me, and it feels so beautiful and so amazing. I just